Julie, do the thing.
Turn the audio on. Hey, and
No,
us is in chat. Perfect.
I shouldn't say Julie, do the thing.
Julie do the thing? Who's Julie? Why are they doing a thing?
Okay, you need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender
Ah, yes.
and season 2 because Julie is the assistant to the mad scientist, and he always says, "Julie, do the thing." Like that's the thing that he does so often
That's
that
the
I
thing.
remembered
Okay.
it. Not Bet, I remember it from the TV show, and I don't need Ben to help me remember that from the TV show, which tells you how often he does that. Because how often do I remember something from a TV show?
Julie do the thing. Okay.
Julie, do the thing. I was supposed to wind this yarn. So that I could
Uh-huh.
cast on socks. So well wound, can you tell?
Yeah, it was
I
very wound. Very nice cake.
literally wedged it in the Swift. That's as far as I got.
I mean, that's
I don't
progress.
like I don't like winding skeins at night because I'm in a bedroom. So I don't want to be doing anything that makes noise in a bedroom after like 10 o'clock because somebody could be sleeping.
Winding yarn isn't that noisy, unless you're like
It's
swearing
not.
loudly at it, which,
I
sometimes.
sometimes I try to be polite between like 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. and just stay quiet. After
Fair
7 a.m. and
enough.
until 10 p.m., everyone's on their own because, well, that's just how the world works. That's my thinking on it. And if
Fair
I can
enough.
nap through whoever it is that practices their guitar early afternoon, you can nap through me.
Oh, we've got a few people in chat already. We've got Asa and
Oh,
Melanie, Sherry, Rachel, and Jen.
hello, 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 hello.
In typical live fashion, one of us is eating.
I'll have you know I have chocolate chips should the need arise.
In my defense, I went and saw a house like an hour ago. So, like, I've been up and adulting and everything today already.
It's -2 outside, or it was -2 when I ran bathwater today. And for those of you who don't know, I have a clawfoot bathtub. So I ran that water as hot as possible. So it
Mm.
was super hot and the window was open. So it was all cool, fresh air and a
Oh,
hot
that's so
bathtub.
beautiful.
I may have lounged for 45 minutes today already.
That sounds glorious.
It was delightful. Added that I had my eucalyptus foaming bath in there. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's the stuff. That is what joy is made up of.
See, I've got this tub that's good for soaking,
Mm.
except that it's a jetted tub, but the jets don't work. So I'm not confident that I've ever managed to clean it properly. So I feel weird about having a bath in it.
You really like with why just the jets need to be fixed.
It's a rental. I can't do anything about it.
No, you can report that the jets need to be fixed, but
Oh,
that's
they
all you
already
can do.
they know.
Oh, good. I'm so glad
Yeah.
they fixed that.
It's the pump was leaking and so they just killed the circuit to the whole thing so it couldn't be accidentally turned on. The
They
pump
still
which
have
is
to fix
conveniently
it.
located right above the closet in the basement where we keep all our board games, so we really don't want that to leak.
No, that'd be bad.
That would be bad.
That would be
And we've
bad.
also now got Lisa, Sandy, and Karen in chat.
Oh, well, I suppose while you're eating, I should get the party started.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide away from the microphone so I, don't deafen people with crunchy noises.
You eating toast?
I am, yeah.
Couldn't
I think
even pick a soft old person food like oatmeal.
no, I
Rude.
picked Dutch crunch bread with sunflower butter.
Oh yeah, no, that's not even remotely hipster. Guys, welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We're two friends in Pebber who eat, knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. I'm told it's episode 261, and it is the first Sunday of the month, so we are live. My name is Jocelyn. My co-host is Diana, and while
Thank
she
you.
eats her toast, as we don't make show notes for the first episode of the month, I'm gonna just let you guys know what I'm drinking because I'm not eating. In my reading is sexy as mug, I have some peppermint tea. Don't worry, I made a whole teapot. I didn't come to this with such a tiny, tiny, tiny ass cup of tea. We definitely, definitely brought the pot of tea with us.
Smart.
And as the
Shuffle,
mysterious
shuffle.
Mr. B would say, the herbal tishan or tissue or tincture, depending on what mood he's in, uh, won't oversteep, so I left the tea bags in.
Nice.
So,
I
and
have in my Smarties the Rescuers branded mug from 91, so it's as old as I am.
childhood.
Yeah, I have no idea where this cup came from. It's just always been there. It says copyright 91 on it.
Cool.
So in
Ooh.
the mug that is old as I am, which in childhood I drank hot chocolate out of it, but now it's an actual 8 ounce cup, so it's perfect for cappuccinos.
Ooh,
So
you
I've
got
got
a
a
cappuccino
cappuccino.
going on? You got a cava?
Mm-hmm.
I do have some Coke Zero on the table because it's sugar free and the caffeine doesn't set me off.
Nice.
I do have
That.
a bit of a stomach upset because of the corn and the Coke, but I mean, what am I going to do? It's either
Oh wow,
have
you just
no
can't win.
caffeine or have a mild allergic reaction. Some days I just pick the allergic reaction because the panic attack is worse. I just can't win. I can't win. I cannot win.
I
It's
suppose the
very
other answer is
frustrating.
no caffeine at all, but that doesn't sound
You
fun.
go ahead and function with no caffeine, which also means no black teas or green teas, no
Or
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah, you can't have any naturally caffeinated items, which is more than just coffee.
I am aware. It was a joke. I'm joking. I don't expect anyone to actually function with zero caffeine.
I have to choose. I have to choose either have the trigger for the panic attack from the caffeine, or it's a caffeine I can handle because it's fairly low because it's got a lot of sugar in it. In that case, the sugar's corn. So I'm just hit with the wrong side of the stick one way or the other. Have you decided to come chill with us, Phaedra? You have? Okay. She jumped down from the bed and I thought maybe she'd injured her foreleg again. She was
Hmm.
limping for a bit and she landed hard. Like I heard her really
Ooh.
distinctly. So I was watching her for the last 25 minutes going, oh my God, my cat hurt herself. I'm gonna have to go, so we're gonna have to cancel the live because I gotta take my cat to the vet.
Oh no.
Because that would be expensive. I'd hate to do it after hours. I'd hate to do
Mm-hmm.
it after hours. That would be even worse. Worse. I remember the last time she did that. I had to have pillows on the floor everywhere where she jumped down so that she'd have something soft to land on while her foreleg recovered. And it took like four weeks.
Those are the moments where you really wish that cats understood human language, where you could be like, "Don't do
Don't do
this.
that.
You'll hurt
But they
yourself."
don't. They
No,
don't.
they don't have
No,
that much brain power.
no. Like I had to tip her cat stand over so it was flat on the floor so she didn't have a high surface to jump up on. But you had to do it on the side of the bed, on the side of the couch, you had to do it up the side of the counter. Like,
Yeah. And then they're like, "I don't want to jump on that," and so they'll like jump weird to avoid it.
uh-huh. Instead of jumping on the padded pillow where the vet said they needed to jump down on. Yeah, I know. I've already done it once. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to do it again.
What's going on in chat? Melanie has strawberry wafer cookies and orange pico tea. That sounds
That sounds
lovely.
tasty.
Jen has a cold green powder drink. That
Sure.
sounds very healthy. Jen always makes me feel so unhealthy. It's like, I'm going to go work out. I'm going to have this
9
smoothie
a.m.
or
I gotta get
whatever.
up
I
there. I
don't.
gotta go to the gym for 9 a.m. I'm like, I might put on a bra by 9 a.m.
I just feel so unhealthy.
So part of me just wants to start replying to Jen. I'm gonna go to the gym for 9 a.m. I'm opening a bag of potato chips in protest. I don't, because I don't have potato chips in the house, but the urge to bake cookies is strong some days after those CrossFit Fridays.
Right?
Yep. I see the list of things that she does, and my brain goes, oh my God, that is amazing. And then it is immediately followed up with, I really could go for a brownie. Like I do not get an endorphin high from working out. Come to terms with this about myself. It's fine. I'm awake. Got a full sleep, but Mr. B left early, so I actually got to bed on time, which means I was up early.
Oh, wow. We,
Yeah.
there was a party on the street last
Mm.
night, and they went hard for a long time. I could hear it through my earplugs.
Woo-hoo-hoo. That's some intense partying.
Yeah, comes with the neighborhood.
No, thank you.
Honestly, I actually don't mind that much because it reminds me that there are people having a good time, and after all the stress of the pandemic, like, you go, have a good time.
My apartment's quieter. My apartment's quieter, and I live on a road to a hospital.
I know. Oh, I don't mind.
And I'm a block from Portage.
It's not that loud all the time, just, the occasional Friday, Saturday night.
Oh no. Rarely have parties in here. You hear people coming and going to the bar all the time, but really, I live near bars, so the
Yeah.
and there's the prank phone callers at the entryway entrance thingy every once in a while, but again, the that happens in all apartment buildings.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. Not the end of the world. The occasional puppy getting mad at the people walking too close to the building and setting them off,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm pretty sure irritates the human more than it does me or the cat. We roll over. The cat grew up with really large dogs. I used to share a house with really large dogs. Doesn't bother us if I register it at all.
Oh, Suzanne is asking what hospital. It's Misericordia, right?
Misericordia, yeah. Yeah, I live close to Misericordia, which is good because a lot of specialty eye tests happen there. So for me, it's a hospital I go to fairly regularly for testing. It means it's a shorter cab home.
Mm-hmm.
Because once they dilate your eyeballs, then freeze your eyeballs, then dilate them again, you're not walking yourself home.
No.
I get in a cab and I get dropped off at my door. Because I have nothing but really bright light colors and very large splashes of color change. It's not good. I do not walk anywhere by myself after an eye test.
No, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Very unsafe. Very unsafe. And I come
Rachel's
straight
saying
up.
Rachel says a croissant sounds much better than CrossFit. I agree, croissant sounds better than CrossFit.
Not a huge croissant fan, but sure, yeah, I'll go with it.
It's still better than CrossFit.
Croissants. I think like if I had that endorphin high from exercise, I'd probably make the argument for CrossFit. It's too intense. Like, I like swimming laps and going for walks.
And I've learned how to swim particularly well, but walks are good. I love strength training because there's a certain meditative quality to pick up the heavy thing and then put the heavy thing back down, but concentrate really, really hard on your form so you don't hurt yourself.
No, I don't like that part. I like walking, I like swimming, I like yoga.
Yoga's alright, but yeah, turns out I really like picking up heavy things and putting them back down again.
Tune into 2025 when we've gone back and forth and Diana's given up on ever seeing humans again and starts weightlifting for some championships.
That's not gonna happen.
Both beyond all belief.
No.
Oh goodness, we're all done our toast.
I pretty much decided I'm never going back to gyms again after COVID because I've actually thought about how much germ stuff is going on and yeah, no, I'm never doing that again.
I have resistance bands. They attach to my door.
That works.
Great.
Yeah, I have a yoga mat, and I just lack the motivation to actually get up and do body weight exercises. Literally the only thing I lack right now is motivation.
You totally read that. What was that one self-help book we read last year?
Oh, it was Atomic Habits.
Yeah, that's it. I read it twice.
Yeah, so have I.
Why don't just do that?
It didn't stick this time. I don't know. Last time it worked, didn't work for me this time. Cool. I think there's too much other stuff going on in the world, and that it was, I don't know.
Insert excuses here. The book really did explain that we're not smart. We are incredibly programmable.
I'm well aware. I am completely. That's extra frustrating because I know what's wrong. I know how to overcome it.
And
you literally just have to start. Just start. But the just starting when there's no schedule to leave the house is so hard.
I know, man.
I haven't figured it out yet.
I don't know, man. Could be weak and floppy arm. How are you going to carry all that yarn around?
I don't know.
It's getting dangerous. Could affect your knitting life. Can't have that. Can't have that. That'd be bad. Oh, man, I may honestly make cookies after this. Okay, if you're all toasted up, you've got some food in your system.
Yes, let's do the things for
Let's do the
reals. Okay, we
things
talked
for
about what's
reals.
in our cup.
Well, we talked about what's in my cup.
Now I talked about my cappuccino,
Yep.
and
So
then
you were out today. Did you have any cool threads?
no, I walked across the street wearing this. I walked across the street. We went to look at a house. There's a house for sale across the street. So we went to look at the house across the street. It was, it was so far.
I
It's
do not
actually a
have
nice
any
house.
cool threads. I do not have any cool threads this week.
I mean, socks, I guess. I wore socks. Hand knit socks.
I didn't leave the house this week.
Oh, also suggesting check if there are personal trainers coming home to you. We have a couple gyms doing that.
Yes,
Interesting.
there you can get personal trainers that will come to you. You pay more, but really, duh, they're coming to you. No,
Interesting. I had never considered that
okay.
possibility.
Yeah. We don't have tons of them because most people won't pay for it.
That just seems like such a that seems like such a I work in the tech sector and I have no kids. My personal trainer's coming over today.
Oh, that's any lifestyle. That's any, yeah. Yeah, it's just make sure that your personal trainer isn't coming over at the same time that your house cleaner is coming over. Then that way they're not trying to work over top of each other because that's just rude. You got to give them
Yeah.
space. Yeah.
Oh, and I mean your meal kit provider as well. You got to make sure they're not coming over to meal
No,
prep
there's
for the week for you at the same time.
only so many spaces in your driveway and you don't have a servant's entrance. So
The worst part is the worst. I have toast all over my face. Oh my god. Okay. The worst part is I'm a small child. No, the worst part is
you're wondering why we don't have 1,000 subscribers. Never mind.
I'm a child with toast on my face. Is all of that would still cost less than the mortgage on a house right now.
Uh-huh.
I could have all the rich people's stuff, but I can't buy a house.
Can't buy a house. No, you're in Ontario. And it's bad here in Manitoba. It gets even worse when you leave the province, one of the provinces that's got one of the cheapest places to buy a house.
If you want to go live in the middle of nowhere, in Newfoundland,
Yeah.
you can get a whole estate for just over $1 million.
Mm-hmm. But your husband cannot be bothered to get his driver's license, so that's not an option for you.
No, that is unfortunate. Also, I don't think I
Really
want to
have
live
to drive.
that far away from everything. The thing I like about here is that I'm actually close to a real city that has real stuff happening.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, yeah, I was talking. There's a new music festival starting this coming weekend. So there
Oh
are going to
yeah,
be shows Friday, Saturday, and then the following Saturday is like the big wrap up. And there's panels during the week where they talk about the influences of Baroque music and how it interacts with the problems and issues that are going on today. So
nice.
it's
That
very
sounds
interesting.
really interesting.
That was very exciting. And yet one more music festival in a city known for music festivals. Guys, we have music festivals all the time here. All the time here. If you love music, move here.
There's actually so much arts and culture stuff going on in Winnipeg.
Just what's this weekend? This weekend is Arts in Bloom at the WAG. So for this weekend, if you're down at the Winnipeg Art Gallery, you can actually see from their permanent collection, they've pulled out like 93 pieces and they've had floral interpretations done of those pieces of art. So they've had professional florists and amateur florists make floral arrangements that speak to the painting itself. So either with the colors, the shapes, and that are
That
what people
sounds
are
so
pulling interpretations from it.
interesting.
They do it every spring. Every spring.
I feel like I did not take enough advantage of these things while I lived there.
No, because most people who live here are like, oh, that's a touristy thing. Or, oh, I did that in high school. But how cool was it to go to the ledge that one one time we were headed down to Icon and got caught in the rain, and we took that tour.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, God, so many people don't do those things. It just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean,
If you're
like, it is
back
a
in the
touristy
summertime, like,
thing, but,
have you
like,
done
do
the
it
Delvin
once.
Art? Have you done the Delvin Art Museum? If not, we'll do it the next time you're in town.
I don't know if I've done it in my adult life, actually.
We should do it again because it's quite a bit of fun.
Yep. And I actually don't think I've ever been to the WAG somehow.
What?
I know.
What? How are
Every
we
every
friends?
school field trip ever was like, we're going to the museum of, no, sorry, it's the Manitoba Museum now. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and we're
It
gonna
used to
go
be
look
the
at the
Museum
woodland
of Man and
exhibit
Nature or something. Yeah.
again. Yeah, it used to
Yeah,
be
it's
Man and
always the
Nature.
woodland
But
exhibit.
literally, I think I was 17 before I even knew the boat was there. Like, the boat that they built the entire building around. Didn't know it was there because we never went to look at the boat, which is the coolest thing in this museum. No, it was
The
always
boat's
like that
pretty
tired
cool.
old woodland exhibit.
Oh god, yeah, the woodland exhibit's pretty. It's straight out of the 70s and it's not aged well.
Yeah, like,
It's not aged well. No, no,
it
the
was
wag's
cool
cool.
once or twice.
I wonder if the Inuit, I think the Inuit art, like the Indigenous First Nation art exhibit, I think that's a permanent new one that has its own sort of like house beside them. I will find out, and if it is, you and I will go do a day at the WAG. Like we'll go to the WAG for several hours, then have a late lunch at Stella's. We'll make a day of it.
Yes, I like this
Yeah,
plan.
yeah. Should people in chat are like, is this how regular podcast works? No, it actually is. I just take this part out. Okay. Take out
uh,
huge swaths, guys. I have 2.5 to 3.5 hours worth of content that I edit down to an hour and a half. It's so good. I
Asa's
have a
going to
lot
a.
of projects.
I have two. Asa's going to a Bach concert on Thursday.
Bach is amazing. I
And
am a
Karen's mom is going
Debussy.
to one tonight.
I am a Debussy and Baroque fan. Those are my top favorites, but I do enjoy good Bach. Weren't you suffering from castonitis? Weren't you going to cast on all the things this week?
Well, I mean, I casted on two things. By
Or were you
castonitis, I
just
mean I didn't work on any whips. I casted on two new things, and I'm thinking really hard about a third one. It's all
I
crochet. I'm
think
all about the crochet sweaters this week.
you need to cast on more than one more thing. I'm gonna start and I'll let you know when it's your turn because yeah, okay. So I finished a thing.
All right, I'll just work on a thing while we're.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Guys, we're gonna get her to cast on some more stuff. Did I enter it into prizes? No, I don't really care about prizing. I was just having fun. For the March Around Your Neck challenge from the Fiber Friends, I finished on time my chocolate covered cherries wrap. So are you ready? This is in half, by the way, and if I hold it diagonally on my screen, it all fits. Half. So half.
This came out to be a very large object.
Look at this. Look how big it is.
That's cozy. That is cozy.
Is that not just stunning? This is out of some impeccable yarns. It is a blanket shawl. So look at this big bad boy. Oh, look at this. I made it my wingspan, which is longer than the pattern calls for, which people don't have to do if you don't have, the owl span of a snowy white owl. You can make a regular sized one and it'll fit you fine. But I made it specifically to wear with my winter coat in a very big blue stripy fashion, like so. I even put on a white sweater today so we can get the whole with the white winter coat look on.
That looks amazing.
Won't that be
That
great?
looks so good. I'm so excited for fall fashion shoots.
Yeah, well, now we're at dingy spring weather, so it's not happening now.
Yeah, well, it's not great weather for
So
photo
there you go.
shoots.
I have exactly 2 ends to weave in. I'm not done that yet.
That's just that. I love that.
So I finished one item, so I casted on 3 new ones.
Right. That's how we work.
That's the ratio. So, that's a thing. And I will talk about 2 of those 3 things, and then I will pass the buck to you because you said you have 2 items, so we can alternate the last 2.
Okay. I'll just be here working on a thing.
Talk
Keeping
about
an eye on
crochet.
chat.
Some days. So I'm going to make some decisions. I cast it on for a Battenberg blanket. Now it is a crocheted blanket made up of small-ish granny squares. The idea being that it looks like a Battenberg cake. If you don't know what a Battenberg cake is, super fair. Neither did I until I watched the Great British Bake Off, because I had no idea what a Battenberg cake was.
Is that the ones that has like the checkerboard pattern when you slice it?
Yeah, it's the one with the checkerboard pattern when you slice it. So the idea
Ah,
is you would do a colored square with a neutral square so that the square here will be neutral, the square here will be neutral, the square here will be neutral. So you get a checkerboard pattern.
okay.
I also have never had an opera cake in my life, and I need to eat one because there's chocolate and coffee involved. And why has this never been in my face?
I don't know,
I don't know.
but
So
yeah, need
I
that.
need to fix that. I need to fix that. Here's the problem. To have this conversation. Okay. I am not looking for sympathy. I'm not looking for poor me's. I'm not looking for any of this. This is just a parameters issue. I've been having dizzy spells for the last couple of weeks. Now, what this tells me is the same thing it tells my doctors and my specialists. My vision's fading. I'm actively losing it right now. So it's not a stable universe I function in. It's why my brother-in-law's picking up my groceries for me. It's why I'm getting help doing some small tasks around the house because I am constantly touching surfaces to remind myself what is upright and what is not upright. Because I'm not 100% sure right now most days. I
Mm.
park myself in this chair for many hours because I know if I put my arms down and I sit up straight, I'm balanced. Whether my head thinks I am or not is irrelevant. I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a part of the vision loss. The other part of the vision loss is it's getting I might be losing the ability to work in fingering.
Oh no.
Not good. And I state this because I started, what, 2 years ago? Less than 2 years ago. A scrappy granny square blanket. So,
Mm-hmm.
here's some of my squares.
Yeah.
No end date in mind because I just wanted to do random scraps, wanted it totally random. I decided to make two sections of it so I could make two halves and seam them together.
Okay.
That I would have the same color pop up at least twice in the blanket.
Okay.
Made sense to me. So you'd have some color progression through. So you'll see this green in two places, right?
Yeah.
This was done on a 3.5 millimeter hook. It was fine. It wasn't super easy, but it was doable. It wasn't a problem. I went to go work on the 3.5 millimeter hook the other day, and I was definitely having some problems. Now I could just be having a bad week. Those happen. So I decided to bump up and hold my yarn double and move up to a, what do I got here? 6.5 millimeter hook because I'm holding fingering double. And instead of doing solid colors, marl my scraps
Ooh, that looks nice.
and pair them with the white. But you
That
get a
looks
different
nice.
fabric.
Yes.
So this will be faster, but the fabric will be heavier. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
obviously I'm getting a finer fabric on my 3 millimeter, and I'm getting a much better drapey drape.
Mm. Okay.
I'm getting a much better drapey drape. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. So technically it's casted on because it is casted on, and the Battenberg blanket, like the scrap blankets, have no end date, no size parameters, and it's just when I'm in the mood, I'm going to work on them because they're literally made out of scraps. So at some point, I'm going to have to make more scraps. But I don't know if I should go back to try to work on the 3.5 millimeter hook and have the lighter weight blanket because I get warm. I get warm.
I
It's
keep
a
throwing
thing.
my ball of yarn on the floor, so I need my spinny thing.
Why? I keep telling you to buy a second yarn bowl, crazy lady. So I'm not sure what to do about it yet. However, I have technically cast it on for a worsted weight Battenberg blanket. Technically. Now I will combine as I go as I do the granny squares because oh my god, seaming. No, I'm done the blanket of doom. I know better, guys. Guys, I know better.
We learned.
We learned. And I found my 6.5 millimeter hook that Phaedra had ran off with. It was under the coffee table for all of you who
Mm-hmm.
wanted to. be up to date on that one. But I don't know if I should try to keep struggling through with the 3.5 millimeter hook just to have the finer, lighter weight blanket, and I might. So for the moment, I've got my two samples, and I'm going to pontificate on them for a while. Talk to the gods, see what's up, and contemplate. But it is a thing that has technically been casted on. I'm going to take off my shrug now, like my sweater that I'm wearing, because it's a little warm in here. I had to close the window because I didn't want, a bunch of sounds that we don't need to have while we're
I got
recording.
I got smart today, and I closed the heat vent and opened the window a crack.
What?
I got smart. I am not overheating today.
Crazy lady. Well, I'd have to open up the window to do it since I don't have control of my heat, so that's a thing. But I don't think we need ambulances, motorcycles, and like Sunday drive day traffic sounds.
No, that's not the most
Do
chill
not
thing.
stretch your claws into my ankle. I will get mad. And when your Aunt Erin comes home, those are being trimmed. Yeah. All right. So I now have three projects left. Would you like to
I
step in or should I do one more?
whatever you like. I don't know. I just started a new round, so I could talk about the thing that I've got right now.
Sure, go for it. You're not checking
Okay.
chat, so let's make you useful.
Oh, Sherry was asking, could some
Mm.
of the difficulties stem from the fact that you have just been crocheting with a much bigger hook? Will persevering a little with the smaller hook make it easier after a bit?
I had initially thought so, but I was doing it through the bifocal. So my current bifocal magnification is 4 times. So if you think about it, the glasses, like when you buy those easy reading glasses, that's a 2x
Mm,
magnification. That is your standard. You buy the sheet magnifier to hold over your book. That's the size you get. I'm sitting at a 4x right now, and we're eyeballing bumping me to a 6x magnification. So I suspect it's not a matter that I was just crocheting on a larger hook before, because I could actually see those stitches, and I haven't been able to actually see the stitches on fingering for I don't even know how long at this point. But I
mm,
can still generally get the crochet hook in where I need it to go off the hop. I only struggle with the magic loop creation, and then once I'm into the granny square section, it's not a problem.
right.
Works out pretty easy. I do struggle a lot in the wool like because it's actually closer to lace. It's a very light fingering, and that's
Yeah.
fine. I knew that going into it. It's really soft and I like the stuff, so I'm willing to argue with it. Obviously, doubled, it's easier. It's still a bit of a pain in the butt, just given the construction of the wool like to nature of that yarn. But with the fingering sock weights, I'm noticing the same when I'm knitting in the fingering. I am no longer even catching the stitches out of the corners. Like I'm doing way more by feel than I am by sight.
Mm.
Yeah. Anybody who's had to suffer the constant questions I have about getting help doing stuff at fingering weight. Poor Aaron. People, you all need to move closer to me so I can start bugging all of you, not just Aaron.
It just means you get to use all the beautiful fingering weight doubled and have more projects in less time because heavier weight goes faster.
It does, except I'm always warm, so I don't wear the heavier weight stuff as much. What it means is
Uh,
I need to buckle down and knit more fingering stuff a lot faster. Because I might be running out of time. It's very likely I'm running out of time.
that sucks.
All right. Clinky noises of China done. Because I'm now
Clink,
taking the
clink.
tea bags out of my teapot. I don't
All
know. We're
right.
gonna have to wait and see and try on a couple of different days at a couple of different sites and do what it is. But again, because I'm getting the dizzy spells, I don't know where I'm gonna settle. Like it could be a subtle slide, and I don't actively really notice much of what's changed. It could be a dramatic.
Yeah.
We just won't know till it's done. So I don't
Yeah.
knows. I don't knows, guys. I don't knows.
Well, it sucks. And we
It does
definitely
suck.
don't mind helping you with your stuff.
I hope not, because I'm certainly gonna be asking for it. What am I doing?
We
You were doing
really
a thing
don't
because you're
mind.
starting around. I get to drink some tea. That's what's happening.
All right. Um, so I have been feeling the need for crochet sweaters. And
I mean, I have some. I
conven-
can't blame you. They're delightful.
conveniently, Michael's was having a yarn sale.
I know, 30% off a bunch of yarns. I
Yeah.
couldn't go. Oh, okay.
So I went on my lunch break and I went yarn shopping with absolutely no idea other than I want enough yarn to make a crochet sweater. So I
That's a
got
lot
a
of yardage.
gist. Yeah, I got a gist of how much yarn that was.
Hmm.
And then I bought a bunch of yarn, which I'll talk about some of it now and some of it later in acquisitions. But I cast some of it on right away. I
Okay.
got some Cairn cakes in, I think this colorway is Blackberry.
Oh, so
So
pretty.
this is going to be a granny square cocoon cardigan.
You've got so many rounds to go.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, um, but this is just a giant granny square, and I love it. It is so simple, but the colors keep changing, and it's holding my attention. So, yeah, it's
There's
gonna get
something,
down to my elbows, I think.
yeah, it is something so satisfying about
Yeah.
just doing a granny square.
Oh man, I'm
It's just
I'm
so,
super duper
so good.
super duper into granny squares.
Just, it's why I keep making them. Never wear the things, but keep making them. They're just so satisfying.
So good.
So satisfying.
Um, got that conveniently right here. Blackberry mousse specifically is this color.
Black mousse. Okay.
And in case anybody does not know the composition of Cairn cake, since it's a rather common type of yarn, but it is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And I got 3 of the 200-gram balls.
That's
Balls,
good.
cakes, whatever. So I'm not going to run out of yarn.
I would hope not.
I am not going to run out of yarn. I
Okay.
probably have an excessive amount of yarn
Given
for
how often you shortchange yourself, it's nice to see you just buying the extra ball and then not having to worry about it.
yeah, why yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, worst case I have leftover yarn. Whatever
Whatever
will I
will they
do?
do? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
so
not even a worst case. It's fine. It's fine.
I bought the yarn on I think Thursday.
Thursday or
I don't
Friday, whatever the last day of the sale was, that's when you went. Thursday?
Thursday. I went on Thursday. So this is the size of a cake when it's new.
Yes.
And this is how much I have left of my first cake.
Cool.
Yeah,
Since Thursday.
since Thursday.
Is it crocheting
I've
so satisfying?
Yeah, I love it. I'm super duper into it. And
Oh,
it's stripy and fun and I love it and I'm gonna make like a million of these, I think.
all of a sudden, all of her beds are covered in crocheted granny square blankets.
Yeah, so
They're
suddenly there's just
super
giant
warm.
granny squares everywhere.
They're super warm and squishy. They're
Stunningly,
super
yeah.
warm and
Like
squishy.
despite having, because I've got a like a diagonal granny square striped blanket in the basement, and like you would think it would not be very warm because it's full of holes,
But
but it's
it's really,
surprisingly warm.
yeah, I've got that cotton I held double. It's actually folded in half and folded in half again underneath the computer desk right now. The cat sleeps on it all the time. My feet rest on it. They stay nice and toasty.
Yeah, like it's surprisingly warm. So I'm real excited about this. It's going
So
to
am I.
be
That's gonna look
a
so good.
fun spring summer cardigan. I'm
I'm so
excited
excited.
about coffee on the patio in my purple stripy cardigan in the
Oh,
morning
so good.
in the
I'm so
summer.
excited. I'm so excited. Oh, it's gonna be so good. You're gonna have to bring that out in the fall so I can see it in person.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna do any kind of sleeve on it. I might just leave it as like the just seam it together and leave it as the elbow length sleeve. Or I might add more sleeve to it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It'll depend how I'm feeling and how much yarn I have.
Fair. I know I liked doing just enough sleeve to match the just enough neck ribbing to give
Mm.
myself a nice clean edge all the way around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There will definitely be an edging.
Yeah, yeah. But I otherwise I usually don't bother with more sleeve than that.
Yeah. There will at the very least be like a single crochet edging around the edges just to
Oh yeah,
make
yeah,
it
yeah,
make sure it's all
absolutely.
nice and clean.
Listen. Oh,
Um
the purple looks so good.
yeah. I
So
love it.
good.
I love it.
So good. Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
know it's not a finished object, but I don't know.
Blackberry
I'm happy about it.
mousse. Is that worsted blackberry mousse?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
this one is worsted.
Okay. Okay.
I believe so. What weight does it say it is? I think it had
I
a number.
don't know.
It says it's number 4, which I believe is worsted.
Worsted.
So that's
Worsted
yeah.
is she does everything from what it's like DK worsted Aaron window
Yeah,
as
yeah.
a 4. Usually worsted.
So doing that on a 5 millimeter hook.
Okay.
And it's just going zoom and I love it. It's the mindless project that I wanted.
Don't mind me, I'm pouring tea.
Um, oh, Rachel was saying, if I manage to move there, I'm totally down to help and trade knitting for homemade dinners and baking. LOL.
Done.
And also
Listen,
says, I
I
will.
get rides to and from Path to Glory for cookies once a month. I will bake in exchange for goods and services.
Yes, people will work for baking.
I have
Um,
no problems with that exchange rate. What was Erin was saying? She's like, I'm gonna quickly go visit Jocelyn. She's gonna wrap a box for me. Then I'm gonna go to Staples, pick up the banner, and I'll come home. She's like, I'll be like 6 hours. But she's not wrong. We start chatting and visiting, and then like the whole afternoon's gone.
yeah.
Okay. Be warned, that's what happens when you come over. You just lose 4 or 5 hours. I don't know where they go, but they're gone.
Also saying, if I will move there if I win a lot in the lottery so I can quit work.
Done. So we'll just freak people out for Asa to be on the same time zone as the rest of us. Okay. In the realm of other cast on itis projects that I have had, I finally started a jelly roll blanket.
Hey,
So, again, I did not have the right needle size. Then I went to myself, what are you doing, Douglas? What are you doing, Douglas? What is your, like, if somebody was to say it was your favorite type of way of knitting scraps, nobody would second guess it. Marling. How much do I love to marl things?
a lot apparently.
She says with a marled blanket in the background.
I feel like a lot is the
A
answer.
lot. A lot is the answer. So I did not have the right gauge because I did not have a double pointed needle small enough to make these strips. Because you make a lot of strips, and you can, when you do it as per instructions, attach strips as you go so there's no seaming. I'm going to sew my strips together because I suck at picking up stitches at any weight. Just I'm not very good at the detail that I need to see, but I can hand sew and I can machine sew a lot neater. So I'm just going to do that. It's just easier for me. It's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
So
Do it.
I'm holding, yeah, more woolies. I have so much woolies in here. I'm holding some gray, and I'm holding it double with scrap fingering weight yarn, which I actually put in a little teacup as its yarn bowl.
That's adorable.
Isn't that not just the cutest thing on the planet? And I am going through, and I'm going to start making strips because I need 50 billion of these. It feels like for a bed. 50
Yep.
billion.
Yep.
Actual estimation. It'll be slow going. It's literally what I work on while I'm watching TV when the guys are over because everybody wants to borrow my Prime account right now to watch stuff, which is fine, but it has to be done here. When I'm making supper, I can work on rows while I wait for stuff to cook. So this is literally just going to live on the coffee table and just get puttered at
Yeah.
as I go. Because that's what the kind of project, and I needed something like that. I needed that sort of niche fill project. So these are 4.5 millimeter DPNs because there's like 20 some odd stitches on the hook or on the needle. Really, it doesn't need to be anything more than this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an I-cord edge binding around the whole blanket. How clean and how crisp is that going to look?
Oh, nice.
It
Yes.
looks so good, so good. So I worked my way through my first fingering weight skein left over, and now I'm working on a second one, held with the gray. I've got 2 balls of this gray, and I will do that first, and I'll see how many stripes that makes, and decide whether or not to just get more gray and have a whole gray background, or like get white and have stripes of gray background, stripes of white, and alternate them
Okay.
to get a color differential. Haven't decided. don't care. No project end date, so I can take years to do this if I want. I will, in fact, probably take years to do this. Because I organized, guys. I super organized. There's going to be crinkly headphones. Here's your warning. I found a bag that held a sheet set.
Okay.
So it's going to hold the other gray ball and whatever I'm working on when I'm not working on the stripes. They're going to go in here. I'm so organized. You guys would be so impressed. But that's not it. This holds balls of scrap yarn from projects previously used for fingering weight, all sock weight yarn. Literally just balls of yarn. Also, I'm not pretty sure this is not what you set the bags for. This is what I'm using it for. To the brim. To the brim. Just balls of yarn. Sweet balls of yarn. So I want to get through this first because we're not done. Oh, I super organized. I put the 2 balls of white yarn that I'm using to hold double to make the first 2 balls of white of the woolies in this bag to keep them separate from the other ones, and so that I could have them, the yarn sticking out the top. Oops, that's not the right color. Right? The yarn sticking out the top, so they can stay in the bags, but I can crochet from them.
Ah.
Because they're center pull balls. I'm not done. This is all in the one bag. I put the other balls of white that I'd already bought for this blanket for the Battenberg blanket, because I knew I was going to make the Battenberg blanket with the white. That's why I bought all the white.
Mm-hmm.
All inside a larger bag. I think it's like one of those vegetable bags. Yeah, it's one of those ones from Harvest for Hope that I got because I keep buying. Do you guys have those school fundraiser stuff that happens in the fall? Like you get, guys, seasonal allergies have started for me. The nose is what it is. There's always the peak of the market one that shows up. They go through like daycares and elementary schools, and they can fundraise for stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I always buy the big bag of veggies, the one that's like for like 4 to 6 family people, and I can eat all of the vegetables before they go bad because that's how many vegetables I eat. It's one of those bags. It's one of those big bags. But I have, wait for it, yet another bag that came with a sheet set. This is all the minis I haven't wound. This is not all of them. These are just all the ones I found so far.
That's a lot.
Found so far. So I have supplies
so much organizing
to get. Yeah, the little short fat ones are from you. Little short fat ones are from you.
I don't know how to make long ones.
But I keep getting sock sets from Erin, which I super duper love, but I don't use the minis in the socks. So the collection of minis keeps growing, so I need to start dealing with it because I now have consumed this massive bag, and I've literally had to put 4 bags in the one bag to keep it all sorted in my head. Otherwise, it's just a hot garbagey mess. Can you tell I'm spring cleaning for the year?
Yeah.
Things that are happening. More crinkly because I gotta put it all back, otherwise Phaedra will be playing in it. It's just a bad idea. Okay, so there you go. I have 2 more things.
I have one more thing.
Would you like me to go again?
Probably.
I cast it on, and I was doing great. Stress stuff was. Long time
was asking,
watchers.
should we have a knitting retreat in Winnipeg to help Jocelyn with winding yarn?
I feel like we could have a knitting retreat in Winnipeg to just help Jocelyn not start 50 million effing projects. I need an intervention. Oh,
but we like to knit vicariously, don't we? That's why we watch podcasts.
Pretty much, hey? I know why I'm doing it. I was going to do the Dreamy Weave cardigan. I had set it up. I had the yarn. I had done my swatching. I was doing great. I cast it on the amount of stitches needed for the Dreamy Weave cardigan. And I did the bottom hem. And I did the moss stitch so well, I got perfect 1x1 rib.
Which never happens.
Never happens.
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh, jeez, should I rip it out? Should I not rip it out? People are like, well, maybe not rip it out. I'm like, okay, well, there's a cardigan style that I want to make for me designed for me, by me, for my frame, for my height, for my size, for the sheer ridiculousness that is my chest. I've been putting together the math and the numbers. And I was like, all right, I'm going to double check. So I knit the first 2 rows after my perfect 1 by 1 rib. And I knew I'd have a couple, like I'd have a couple 2 stitches, right? Like I was like, maybe I got to add in some shaping. It's like maybe I'm running 5 or 6 extra stitches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do some hip shaping, shape it up from the bottom up, and it'll be a good fit, right? I have 28 extra stitches. I can't make that disappear in shaping.
That's
Too many.
a
So
fair number.
everybody look at this beautiful piece of work, marled, because again, I love marled. Gray and pink looks really good because I got to rip it out now.
Oh, that's sad.
Because the fit I want is different from the dreamy cardigan fit. But I do like the idea of doing that in the pattern I want because I feel like I've had it written up to the point where Asa would be amazed if she was to see it because it's almost a complete pattern.
Oh my, you mean it's not just like scribbles on a post-it?
It's not scribbles on a post-it. The only thing it's missing
Whoa.
is the grading for sizing and its intro. Like if that's a for me, that's pretty much a full pattern.
Yeah, whoa.
I would put the numbers in as I ran across a pattern. I did stuff and be like, oh, I liked this. So I would pull out the thing that I liked and I put it in a cardigan for me, a Jocelyn cardigan. So I have all the numbers there. They're just the wrong numbers for the fit I want. So I have to rip, but I'm really attached to this idea of making that into a me bulky cardigan, which means fitted, not oversized. So needless to say, I'm going to rip that. I didn't want to rip it till I showed you guys because I did a lot of progress. This did not exist last week. It's not a small amount of knitting.
Uh,
I
Shay was
know I
saying,
couldn't do this because if I did this, the finished bust measurement would be 61 inches. That's large, even for me.
it does
I
seem
do not.
excessive.
I do not want baggy. I do not want baggy.
Sherry was saying, just last night you were telling me to cast on all the things I wanted to.
I did, and I maintain you should cast on all the things you want to.
And also was saying, I am shocked. Who are you and where is Jocelyn?
I don't know, but enjoy it because I don't know how long it's going to last. I suspect a return to the post-it note stage real fast. Real fast. Oh, I lied. I have spinning this week, Diana.
Spinning. I thought really hard about spinning, but it hasn't happened yet.
Cool. I thought about it, but I didn't. More specifically, I thought about it, but oh my god, my lazy Kate's really full, and then plied my spinning. That's what I have is ply. I plied today. Not today, the other day. All right, I've got one project left, and you've got one project. So you should go.
I suppose I should, yes.
And then I'm going to start ripping because might as well just get that done and over with. I should do that now. I should just get that done and over with. We talked about it. It needs to go. I know how many stitches I need, and there's too many. There's too many on this needle. Otherwise, the gauge is perfect, and I love the fabric I'm getting. So the needle's right, the gauge is right. I just can't count. Or can't count for this pattern anyway.
Oh no. Oh no! Hang on, I'm throwing things.
That was aggressive. Guys, if it helps you to know, I literally have a sock needle threaded through the cage that holds my microphone. I was gonna cast on socks too.
I need to close this window. I'm.
You're cold? Or are you sniffly? Did you take your
Sniffly.
allergy meds this morning?
Did. But apparently I need to close that window.
Yeah, direct exposure is not good even with the allergy meds in your system.
I'll do that in a minute. So the other thing, or one of the other things that I bought at Michael's was one of the Karen chunky cakes. Big cakes? Chunky cakes? I don't know. The chunky weight yarn.
Yeah.
Crap, what color is this one? It's a Karen chunky cake.
Guys, this would have been huge.
That is a little excessive.
Okay.
Let's see, weight 6. This one's 100% acrylic.
Yep.
And the colorway is Dulce de Leche. I'm probably saying that wrong.
That's fine.
I hope people know what I'm saying. Anyway, I also got 3 of those, and I decided that I was going to make the. See, it's Crochet by Carrie. Crochet with
Mm-hmm.
Carrie? Crochet with Carrie. She
Okay.
does a lot of free crochet sweater patterns. And so I am making her crochet funfetti bomber cardigan.
Ooh.
So
You
if
look
you'll
good in bombers.
pardon my holding up a phone, it's gonna look like
Tilt
that.
it. Tilt it. We've
Tilt
got
it.
or turn your screen light down. You're too
Oh,
bright. You're too
there. How's
bright. That's better. I can sort of see it. So
okay?
everybody else might be able
Anyway,
to see it.
yeah. So it's just an all-over texture thing. Does this one have buttons? I can't remember if it had buttons. No, this one does not call for buttons.
Okay.
So I have cast it on for the back panel. Na-na.
Ta-da! Oh, that looks good. Oh, that's really exciting.
So this yarn is so soft. It's so soft, like just instant soft.
Carrot cake.
So,
Good stuff.
oh my god. So this is a free pattern, so I can talk about it all I want.
Yes, you can.
It's bottom up, you do your basic ribbing, and then you turn it on its side, and then the main body stitch pattern is half double crochet and slip stitch. Just that,
Okay.
over and over.
That is easy.
Wonderfully basic.
That
So,
is beautifully memorizable too, so you can just go.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds so good.
So that's been happening since I think Friday night, Saturday morning.
I don't know.
I was having the worst time. It's that 2-stitch repeat, you know?
Yes.
I was having the worst time last night trying to do like the 3rd row. I just could not get it to line up.
You're sitting there going, can't count to 2. I made an Evening Star wedding shawl for myself, but I can't count to 2.
It's really hard.
Counting to 2 is like the hardest thing on the planet.
So I finally figured out that the sort of diagonal bits
Yes.
they line up in stacks. So as long as the diagonal bits keep lining up, I'm doing it right.
Okay, good.
So there's a rectangular back piece, there's 2 rectangular front pieces, there's a little bit of shaping on the sleeves because the sleeves are intended to have a tight cuff and then a baggier sort of sleeve.
Okay.
I've already modified the pattern slightly because
that
even the small size was a finished bust size of 48 inches, and that's just it's intended to be very oversized, and I don't want it that oversized. So
That's the size I make when I want it to fit everywhere but my bust.
yeah, so I only did I only it's only 40 stitches wide instead of the called for 42, and also the pattern calls for a 12 millimeter hook.
Yeah.
But I don't have a 12 millimeter hook. I also bought some new hooks to go along with the bulky yarn that I bought. So I have a 10 millimeter hook.
Because you didn't have bulky hooks.
No, I didn't. So I got this nice ergonomic 10 millimeter hook because that's what the ball band called for. Actually, I think this ball band even called for an 8.
There's something so nice about those ergonomic hooks. They just feel so much better on your hands. I
got an 8 and a 10
collection over to some ergonomic ones.
They're really nice. It feels
so much
good.
Better.
It feels good.
Okay.
So
sorry guys, I keep moving my brain around because I've got this wet patch on my shirt from where my wet hair has been sitting.
So in addition to being 2 stitches less wide, it's also on a smaller hook, and I think it's working out fine because like hang on, that's backwards, because it's a little bit wider than my shoulder width as it is, so I think this will be the right size. It's still going to be a little bit oversized, and then when it's heavy and it like pulls itself out of shape, it'll be oversized.
Yeah, you'll still get some drapage. You should be okay.
Yeah. So it'll be oversized, but not hugely so. Not like 10 inches of positive ease. I don't need 10 inches of
God.
positive ease. I don't need to literally bury myself in a blanket. I want a cozy sweater.
Okay, I had to double check my math by taking my gauge and multiplying it. Now I can cast on while we talk. I should have talked about this first, then I could have been doing this the whole time.
I'm gonna put that down because that requires ever so slightly more thought than a granny square. Only slightly, but like, just slightly. Let's see.
This requires two brain cells. I don't want to do it. This requires one brain cell. Perfect.
One brain cell. Oh, good. People seem to like the sweater. This is good. You'll be seeing it for a long time. Or maybe you'll never see it again and it'll just go in the bin with the other one. I don't know. Actually, what'll happen is I'll get all the pieces done and then I'll just have to seam it and then it'll go in the bin and you'll never see it again. I'll have like 90% of a sweater and you'll never see it again.
Somewhere around my 40th birthday when I come out and I go, okay, where are those damn sweaters in a bin? Give me the flippant, give me needles, go away. Come back when
No,
I'm
I imagine
done.
it'll happen sometime in the fall where I'm like, oh, I really want a new sweater. Hey, this sweater was like 90% done. I should finish that.
That's usually how it works, isn't it? What else is Chad up to?
Let's see. Melanie's husband was making a rock garden outside and she had to go see his progress. What else? Dulce de leche means caramelized milk. Today I learned. I knew it was some kind of like milk-based caramel thing. Rachel
See,
is...
I'm intrigued by the rock garden. Is it just like a garden with some rocks in it, or did we do like a full-on Eastern rock garden kind of idea? Because like my mom has a rock garden, and it's rocks in her garden.
Don't really
they still
know
look
what a rock
pretty,
garden
but they're
is.
two very different things. They're equally as enjoyable to look at visually. I just, which rock garden are we referring to? You know?
Oh, now my brain's being ridiculous, and like now it's like a rock band garden, so it's got like electric guitars and amps and stuff, but there's like moss on top.
Oh
it's a rock
gosh.
garden. Anyway. Rachel has finally done the gusset stitches on her second Sock Madness sock. 37 more rows and a toe to do. You can do it. We believe in you. I believe in you.
Have you seen that for round 2? There's these super cool plaid socks with pockets on them.
Oh my gosh.
It's just
Sock
nifty.
Madness. Doing that on a tight deadline? No. I can do that, or I can do the tight deadline, but doing both at the same time? I do not have that level of dedication.
I have to be able to make changes to modify patterns to suit my vision. There's just some shit I can't see. And you cannot make modifications. And while I understand, super important for a competition, it just means it's not accessible for me. So I'm not doing it. Wouldn't work. Would not work.
Also says counting to 2 is hard. That's why my 2x2 rib looks like seed stitch. Frequently.
I've done that. But I
have birdseed in my pocket.
What?
That reminded me of yesterday, and I'm like, oh wait, I had birdseed in my pocket. Do I still have birdseed? I still have birdseed in my pocket from yesterday. We went for a walk and fed some birds, and I still have birdseed in my pocket. I'm a child.
This is the university educated, highly paid tech industry person, folks.
I'm a child. I have toast on my face and seeds in my pocket. I am literally 3 years old.
Oh my god.
But I went to look at a house this morning and people took me seriously about people think I can buy a house. With toast on my face and seeds in my pocket.
They clearly don't watch the podcast. All right, I have cast it on. I'm going to talk about my last thing now because I'm going to cry if I laugh any harder.
Oh, Karen failed to count to 5 several times yesterday on her socks, so, you know.
Yeah, yeah. It's what it is about counting. It's so hard. So hard. And if somebody is like you're absorbing information, okay, if you're listening to something and they use numbers and you're counting, it just adds a complexity to what you're doing that is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so
Susanna
bad.
says, don't forget the crochet hooks in my pocket and wash it. It makes the hand a
Uh-huh.
little more grippy.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and the name of the sweater, it's the
It's the wait. It's the something. Something
Crochet
something.
Funfetti Bomber Cardigan by Crochet with Carrie.
Betty. Okay.
The
I
yarn
don't
she
look good.
picked has like little, it's sort of tweedy, so it's got multicolored tweed in it,
Oh,
so hence the
flex. Okay.
Funfetti.
Funfetti. Okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Crochet Funfetti Bomber Cardigan.
I don't look good in bombers, but crochet bomber always looks so cool. All right, I actually did some work on our podcast anniversary knit along knits this week.
Oh, a rock garden is a circle made of rocks, black mulch with a large rock in the center.
Okay,
That
so
is
that
rock
kind
garden.
of rock garden. Yeah,
Not like a rock band garden. No.
not like a rock band
Okay.
garden.
I'm a little disappointed.
So I'm rocking 3 sets of 4mm needles, 3 balls of yarn, and a hot tangly mess.
What on earth are you doing? Oh,
The
right,
sleeve. The
Okay.
sleeve. I worked on my sleeve.
that. Okay, good.
So this is it's inside out right now, guys, because I'm working on it. And I literally have strands going everywhere right now. So I transitioned from my first ball of yarn to my second ball of yarn by alternating for a little bit. I'm fully into my second ball of yarn on the body of my Wood Woes sweater for the I was going to say Fiber Friends. Did you know we're the Fiber Friends? Or the
Are we?
podcast anniversary knit along? I'm not
I
sure.
wasn't aware of the merger.
So bad because we're working in fingering weight yarn, and I really, really like because it's so light already. Like I'm already gonna get more use out of this than I am all of the worsted weight sweaters I've made because it's much, much lighter. Because I cannot pick up stitches in fingering, I had to put my sleeves on needles as holders rather than waste yarn. Um, if I could use interchangeable needles, yes, I would put them on an interchangeable needle cord and just have the cord caps on. But I can't work the key thing to lock the interchangeable needles together. So I have to work in fixed circulars, which is fine. It's just what it is. So I am currently making my way down my first sleeve. You can see where I picked up stitches. I haven't made a ton of progress, like 2 inches or something, right? Right now, these 2 inches are alternated because I've got the new skein of yarn in with the first skein of yarn, which I split in half. So I'm going to do that till I run out of the first skein, which that way I don't have any color differential issues. And then I will work in skein number 2 till I'm done my sleeve. And then I will repeat on this side till I have 2 sleeves. And then I will only have 1 needle in this sweater and just the body to work on, which is why we got like 17 things casted on this week, because I don't enjoy working on sleeves, and I, like a giant child, will put off my work. So it lives under my computer because I have my monitor on a frame, so it sits up higher. So it literally lives under there at my desk for me to work on, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm working on stuff at my computer. I've been farming all afternoon with Asa most days.
And sometimes me.
Yeah,
I hang out
Jen
sometimes.
and Sherry and whoever can hang out in the Discord chat. You can usually find me there most afternoons just farming and chatting. because
I'm
I like
actually
farming.
so productive when I'm just like hanging out listening to people chat and then I'm actually like working. It's like
Oh yeah.
it occupies the part of my brain that would get distracted. I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
so productive at work.
And I'm happy to do it because it's nice to have a company while I'm farming, and I enjoy farming, so I like doing it. So I'm quite happy to chill in the afternoons and do that.
Also saying it's less than a month left. I have finished 2 projects, feeling smug.
As you should. All right, I have one bit of spinning.
I have talked about everything. I have acquisitions, but that comes after.
My lazy Kate, that sits right there, is empty because I want to put spinning on it, which means I had to apply the stuff that was on there before I could start drop spinning new stuff, right?
Right.
Step one. So I applied a skein.
Oh, nice. I love that. That's so fun.
So finally, applied a thing. Will I ever knit with this? No, heavens no. I
It
am
is an
not at the
art skein.
stage. I'm not at the stage where I want to knit with the stuff I'm spinning yet. I'm still at the. I'm learning to spin, and I like putting the skeins beside each other. Like this is my second skein ever. So I like putting it next to my first skein, which is even worse, just to show the progression of getting better. So this is
Mm-hmm.
going to go live with the first skein I have ever, which is on display in my entryway in a giant hurricane glass because I don't burn candles. So this is going to go live out there with that. And then I can now start spinning my third skein of yarn ever.
Nice.
Learning on the drop spindle, guys. We're getting better. We're getting better. So I'm very, very happy with it. This was a super huge long list of mixed items. Like it had targi, it had silk, it had not like it was again, it was another one that just it had a bunch of mixed stuff in it, which was fine. And some this is not Aaron. This was bought pre-Aaron. I just don't remember who I got it from. I think it's Long. It's definitely not Cloud9.
What was that? It was
It's from the lady who makes that copper yarn that we
uh-huh.
all love. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, was
Yeah,
that
but what's her
Wild
company
Winds
name? Wild
Naturals?
Wind Naturals.
Was that
That's
it?
it. That's it. It's either that or
I can find out.
Hillary's Magical Yarnorium. It's one of the two. Because like that's the only other two places I buy fiber from, and Hillary's Magical Yarnorium is no longer making stuff. So like this could be from there, or this could be from Wild Wind Naturals. I don't remember anymore.
The copper yarn or the copper fluff I have is from
Yes,
Toggenfell.
Toggenfell. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's either Toggenfell or Hillary's Magical Yarnorium. I just don't remember. I
I don't
just
know.
don't
Who
remember. It's been so long.
knows? It's been a while.
Been a while, guys. So there you go. I did something crafty wise that wasn't knitting or crochet. How proud are we of me? Now I'm done talking about all the things I've crafted on this week that I
All
can
right.
talk about. Check in with me on Thursday. See how the monthly check-in goes.
Uh, is that like it went well or it didn't?
Do you not read the mod chat?
I read it this morning, but I was obviously not awake when I read it because I do not remember what was going on in there.
That was a couple of days ago. We started talking about some of the stuff in the check-in. She lurks in her own private chats, guys.
I do, yeah. I'm an A plus expert lurker.
Lisai.
All right, let's catch up on chat, and then I can do the unscripted Patreon
Absolutely.
ad.
Yes, you can.
Karen has given up on her podcast anniversary project. I will finish, but
That's
not
fine.
during the Cal. That's honestly probably me too, and it's our own Cal. So,
That's fine.
Rachel says, I still have hopes for my sweater. Just need to finish socks faster to have more time between rounds. And Asa says, I love those afternoons with farming. They are such a relaxing end of day for me. Oh, excuse me. I forgot to shut the window. That's why I'm having trouble. And to your handspun, Asa says, ooh, love it. It would look good at garter in the endless summer shawl.
You're not wrong.
Shut this window. I'm smart. I can shut
I mean,
windows.
to be fair, we don't just farm. Sometimes we're going to take our weapons on dates because I need to finish the achievements in the boyfriend dungeon, and it is an
Yes.
over the top dating sim dungeon smashy punchy game. And sometimes you just have to take your sword to the mall and beat up some cell phones. And that's just how your days go.
You know, some days. That's
Some
just how it is.
days. It's just how it is.
And it's a great time.
I just, yeah, because oh man, it's so over the top. It's so good. I love it so much. Oh,
Okay. I guess it's time for the unscripted Patreon ad.
it is.
Hold that thought.
I'm sorry, you thought there was a thought?
Ah. If for some reason you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you may do so at patreon.com/northernknitspodcast. Hey, it only took like 50 times, but I finally got that right. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord-only patron server where I lurk, but everybody else is very chatty. There's early access to bonus content. There's weekly. It's weekly for you, bi-weekly for each of us. We alternate weeks. Experimental Tuesday blog posts. We have now quarterly movie night, day, afternoons, times of day. The next one is going to be on, I wrote it down last week, pardon me 1 second while I look up what day. Our next movie day is going to be on May the 14th, which is a Saturday, at noon Manitoba time. And at the higher tiers of support, we do the monthly e-knitting, where we just hang out on a Zoom call and basically have a knit club. The next one of those is on April the 16th, also a Saturday, at noon Manitoba time. I guess our next live episode is going to be on, I didn't look it up, but our next live episode should be on May the 1st. That is the first Sunday in May, barring any scheduling disasters.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's always barring scheduling disasters, which you just can't plan for those. They happen.
Okay, I think that's all the Patreon stuff.
I'm really noted for the record that you cracked yourself up before you even done your first sentence.
Is it bad that I laugh at it? Is bad that I laugh at my own jokes.
Before you're done them. I'm sitting here counting, going, no, she cracks herself up. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
It's not just me.
It's not just you. I'll watch old episodes and I'll just be laughing at myself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that says about me, that I just laugh at myself.
Oh no.
I think I'm hilarious, like legitimately, and I don't know that that's a good thing.
Who knows? Who knows?
Anyway,
As
I'm
always,
gonna be over here with my crochet now.
we super understand that budgets are a real life thing. If you cannot financially support us, no worries. Super understand. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and interacting with us on other social media platforms is always more than welcome. 9 times 10, it is out of me, but if you tag Diana, I will make sure she looks at it and responds. Just ask. I'm annoying about it. I will bug her constantly till I see that she's done it.
Yeah. A+ professional lurker.
A+ pesterer. So that's going on. We have a couple of cals that are ongoing at the moment. We have extended the podcast anniversary cal for a month. I may actually finish. Diana, I mean, will hold out hope. I have believe in her.
I do have a whole month, so we'll see.
At least some of the leaf work should be done. I'm hoping.
Yeah, if like once I get over this, I need crochet sweaters. Just like deep in my bones need crochet sweaters. Yeah. Once that goes by, then I'll be good.
It's April and I'm casting on a bulky weight sweater.
Yeah, me too.
No sense. We have also started a spring cal. The rules for the spring cal are actually conveniently located in the show notes, so you can check them out there, which means I don't have to talk about it, including the spellings for the hashtags. This is why we love Diana. She does that stuff for us. What that means is I can make that really short, which sounds so delightful, and we can get to the good part, which is Diana talking about all of her yarn acquisitions.
Oh yeah, I bought yarn. Okay, one second. Let me finish this double crochet. Okay, put that over here. Okay,
Oh, it's the Diana show. I can go back to knitting.
okay. So there were the Karen Chunky Cakes, 3 of
Yep.
these, in the Dulce
Yep.
de Leche, creams and browns and grays.
Those are you colors.
And then there was the Karen regular cakes in blackberry mousse, which is
Yeah.
purples and then like a purpley red and a purpley brown. It's just purples.
Just purples.
And nothing else in that one. And then there, of course, there was my fun ergonomic hooks.
Yeah. Which you needed.
Then I also got Wool Ease Thick and Quick in City Lights. So it's marled. So it's a dark blue with yellow and like a rainbow, I think, of other colors in it. I think this might actually end up being a knitted sweater.
Ooh.
Also because they only had 6 of these left. So I got them, and I think it might end up...
Yardage wise, I think you're going to end up knitted.
I think it has to be knitted. I don't think I have enough for crochet. And worst case scenario, it's cropped, but I feel like...
Probably not, because I could do a worsted on 6 balls at 277 yards a ball.
And this is it's a super bulky. Apparently, it's a 6. This is 87 yards per ball.
So yeah, depending on what you pick.
The ball band said I needed 7, or estimated, I guess, 7 balls. I assume for knitting.
Oh, finish your cropped cotton one at worsted, because that could be the bulky version. If you like the finished cropped worsted version.
I like the way you think.
Thank you.
Anyway, so I have
like
6
the
of
way I
these
think
really
too.
fun things, and it's gonna be something.
Oh yeah.
It was just too much fun not to get. But yeah, I think this one will be knitted.
I think that's fair.
And the other thing, I got some Loops and Threads Charisma. They had this really fun teal tweedy color.
Ooh, that looks pretty.
Apparently it's blue tweed. And they had
like
7 of these, so I think, again, it's going to have to be knitted.
Probably, yeah.
So I don't think that'll be enough for crochet.
No, but
Charisma's
a nice yarn.
It is, yeah. So I saw it in the store, and it was this fun color, and it had these little tweedy bits, and I'm just like, you need to be a sweater.
Yeah.
So, and they only had 7, so I got all 7. And I figure, like, worst case, if I end up needing, like, if there's something that I desperately want to do with this yarn, I can just go, because it's mass-produced yarn, right? I can just go get a neutral gray or something that coordinates and, like, add a stripe or a block or cuffs and hems or whatever. I can work in a neutral to extend the colors if I have to.
Oh, yeah. No. Easy peasy. I did it with the Shapely Boyfriend. I did it all out of scraps and just striped it. That looked great.
I'm really excited about all the yarn that I got. Oh, also wants to know, can we double dip to both cows?
Sure.
Ugh.
Why not?
I bought yarn. I bought roughly sweater quantities of 4 different yarns. And it was less than $150. And 2 hooks for less than $150. Which is great, because all the yarn that I bought in BC was like close to $500.
Budget yarns, man.
I love my lifestyle spending account at work.
Yes.
Because yarn is a craft supply.
Yes, it is.
And craft supplies are good for mental health. And that's covered.
They are. Oh, yeah, I'm so jealous. So jealous.
Just bragging just a little bit.
Just a
My
smidge.
workplace is really great.
Your workplace is really good.
The perks are amazing.
Oh, your workplace is delightful. Yeah, on the bright side, I'm excited because now you have new options to choose from. when you suffer from castonitis.
Indeed, I have nothing but choices. I don't know where I'm going to put all of this yarn. I have rustle, rustle, rustle. I have all of this yarn.
I think you need to organize.
Yeah, I've been putting it off, but I think I need an office spring cleaning. I think I mentioned this back in January. I was thinking of do like live streaming or something,
Yep,
clean my office with me. So
you
I'm
did.
still thinking about it, and I just gotta actually do it. Like so many things in my life, I just gotta actually
Do
do
it.
it. So at some indeterminate point, I will randomly start streaming cleaning my office, and you're welcome to come hang out.
Just be me sitting in the chat. What are you guys doing? Making a mess in my office to balance Diana?
I can even like take the camera off the thing so I can like bring you around. It's not like it's a big room or something. I could just tilt the camera, but
That's okay. Crazy pants.
stick the
But
camera
hey,
on a tripod and
I am
stream
happy
different angles.
you upped your stash quantities, which
I
gives you
have, yes, I have definitely done that.
better capacity to just cast on something at 2 in the morning if you so feel like doing. Which is always wonderful when you're like, oh, I need to do something. And then you're just like, you know what? It's time. You're going to become a thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
Also says, don't start too early. I need to be there. Fair enough. It'll definitely be on a weekend, and it definitely won't be till the afternoon local time.
That's fair. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm knitting.
It also
I'm
definitely
done.
won't be pre-scheduled because
No.
it'll happen when I'm like, man, I'm so motivated to clean today, and that's when it'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah. No. We also don't schedule our gaming.
No,
It's just
it
when we're in the mood.
just happens.
Just happens. In good news, I only have one book this week. No, technically two, but really 5 minutes into book two.
I think I also have two. Yes, I have two.
Two. Would you like to
All
go
right.
first, or shall I go first?
I'll be really quick about them because
Okay.
one of them, I finished A Master of Jin. Yay! I was so on time for
Yay!
book club this month. Like, it's not even for another, like, week or two.
Oh, you're
I'm so
really
on time
ahead.
for book club. It's amazing. Anyway, A Master of Jin by P. Jelly Clark, I believe, was really fun. It was like a period mystery thriller, but in steampunky Cairo with magic.
I'm excited. I'm
And the
five
entire
minutes
main
in.
cast is female.
I'm 5 minutes in, and I'm already enjoying it. Except for the story.
Sherry, Jin is in genie with the DJINN. Yes, Jin is
Not
in
as in the
genie.
not as in
Not
the
as in the
drink.
gin, not as in the drink. Yeah, because either is good. She says. Yes, no. Master of Jin is in genie as in magic, not the drink. In fact, the main character, it's made. They make a point of the main character does not even drink alcohol. She drinks sarsaparilla with mint leaves.
Oh my, that's a choice.
She goes to the bar. She goes to the speakeasy and drinks sarsaparilla with mint leaves, not actually alcohol.
Okay.
She is a character, and I love her very much. The other thing is I started reading a book that's been like semi-mandated company reading, but could promise to be one of those books that's like, how did you manage to write a whole book about subject? It doesn't seem that deep, and then it turns out to be fascinating.
Yep.
So it's The Box, which is about shipping containers. I'm learning about shipping containers.
Are you having fun learning about shipping containers? Because that's the important
I'm
part.
only one chapter in, so
Yes?
I don't know. I'm only one chapter in, and I was only half awake while I was listening to it.
Okay.
So far, it's been just a lot of numbers, and I kind of don't care about the numbers.
Oh,
I'll be honest, I really don't care about the numbers.
Who cares about math? Crazy.
All right, that's my books.
I have. I started a master gym, but again, I'm 5 minutes in, so I can't tell you right now. I think it's delightful. I'm 5 minutes in. I don't know. I don't know yet, guys. The other one is Salt: A World History by Mark Kudensky. Curl.
Kurlansky?
Sure.
That's my best guess.
Uh, it is a book entirely about the history of salt. You're thinking, Jocelyn, you read a book about the history of salt. I also read a book about the history of the human cadaver. So yes, I did. It's a thing that I do, is weird stuff. Published in 2000 and something, 2, 9. I don't know. There's a number on the end of that. I couldn't tell you. But it was fascinating. Like, I plowed through it from the moment I got it on the Libby app. Like, it's all I did was listen to it. That's not normally my operating procedure. Like, normally I enjoy a book or read it, but I can put it down to like do other things. I've done it. No podcasts, no nothing. I didn't even listen to Double Tap Canada until I was done.
Oh, wow.
Like, I was all about this book. I'm sure I figured out how many pages. 484 pages of salt were consumed this week.
Wow.
And it was interesting. Human fascination with salt, salt production, how we've done it through the ages, our movement away from being focused on salt being white to be pure, to be good, how we didn't do table salt, how we ate salted foods, how we moved away from salted foods, how we're going back to artisanal salts and away from white salt, and how most of the production of salt now isn't even for us, it's for roads.
Makes sense, yeah.
Wide swaths of history covered, and it was amazing. So happy.
Nice.
So happy. So I was very happy I read it. I did tell Mr. B that the salt puns would not be welcome until I was done reading the book.
Uh-huh.
And then he was to refrain. There you go. I do a 4 out of 5. Like, if you enjoy just learning stuff, it's way up there in the nonfiction.
So it's just called Salt? I'm gonna have to
Salt,
read it now.
A World History.
I will add it to my reading list.
It's delightful. So that was good. So I'm hoping to get through a bunch of other books this week, but again, I was nearly 500 pages about salt. Woo!
I guess that's probably everything then.
That's it. That's all. I don't know how chat's doing, but I will do an outro while you catch up on chat, and then we'll be good to go.
I think we're good. Also, I have to pee like super bad, so let's wrap this up.
All right, in which case I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget
to knit.
Oh my god, you're delightful. You're gonna music us out?